Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your October 2025 tarot readings for your North Node by sign and house. Now, if you're new to my channel, the reason I use the North Node in tarot readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant is that it's recognized in astrology your North Node is your North Star. It's what you're here to learn, accomplish, and master in this lifetime. So it's much more accurate in tarot readings and much more relevant to your everyday life. Now, remember, you're going to want to watch two readings, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. Before we begin the readings, I wanted to touch on how impactful October is looking for all of us. So on October 22nd, we have the planet Neptune coming back to its home sign in Pisces. That's going to last till January of 2026. Now, this is the last time that Neptune will be in Pisces for the next 165 years. So this is a once in a lifetime thing. So look at what house you have the sign of Pisces in, and whatever that house is should be very impactful for not only this month, but moving forward into the next 6 months to a year. Now, the other thing that's happening is we have the interstellar object of 3I Atlas. Now, this object is very mysterious, and it's going to be closest to our Earth in our solar system in late October. So this month looks like it's going to be filled with a lot of energy. But with that, I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin the readings. I call upon my spirit guides, guardians, and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see and hear these readings, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Aries and or the first house. Very interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the Page of Cups. And when I saw this card, it was reminding me about one of the deep meanings of this card, which is emotional playfulness or emotional flexibility and the power that has. One of the things that the pages could indicate sometimes is they could indicate children or childlike attitudes or scenarios or situations. And that doesn't mean childish, but like childlike. And I was thinking when I saw this card that one of the gifts that you have that is going to come out this first half of October is most of you have this gift of emotional flexibility or playfulness, and there is power in that. And I think that it's going to come into play this first 2 weeks. This is a clear situation of you using some of your past life gifts in order to move through a situation, okay? So let's get some more details. We'll look at your timeline cards. So you've got the 8 of Cups upright. You've got the 6 of Wands reversed. And you've got the 7 of Swords reversed. Okay. What's happening here, starting with the 8 of Cups, is the reason that this emotional playfulness is coming back is because it's reminding you of the strong parts of yourself that you've always had and that maybe weren't honored when you were younger. So again, we're getting with that theme of there is a strength in being emotionally flexible, and that you could say the reason I say childlike is because when we look back on ourselves, a lot of times, like, most children, especially at a young age before getting into school, are very confident in what they say and what they do, and that is something that you have within you that comes out, but sometimes it's like, I think it wasn't honored in your past. So you're healing from something, making sense of something emotionally that is helping you move through that old energy. And particularly it's bringing up maybe themes from your childhood and your past, and kind of bringing up some of the strong parts of yourself that you may have forgotten. Now, these other two cards here, you've got the 6 of Wands reversed, and you've got the 7 of Swords reversed. So there was this 6 of Wands is that at some point, a lot of you may have had this turning in your life where, it took a major direction change, and it may have seemed like you were on this path where, you were, winning more, and then maybe like it felt like the rug got pulled out from under you, or something was kind of taken away from you that got you off course. And so the Six of Wands is referring to like our victories in life, our, overcoming challenges and becoming victorious in something difficult. But the Seven of Swords reversed is saying that this is something returning to you, both mentally and emotionally, like something that you lost because maybe taking this direction change is going to start to come back to you. And that's where this emotional flexibility is coming in. You're realizing that is a major gift that you have, that can help you work through your life as you're headed towards your North Node in Aries and or the first house, right? So this is something that's going to come up. Now, the reason that I say that it was a challenge that might have been taken away from you is you've got this advice card, Empress reversed, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a great card to get, especially when it's upright. And this is advice to you, saying that you're coming into a cycle in your life where you can ride these changes that are happening in you and literally change your fortune. But the Empress reverse is saying that one of the things that is, kind of happening with this energy and what might have been taken away from you is that I feel like there was someone in your life. Now, for a lot of you, it could have been like a parental figure, like a mother or father. It also could be someone in your life that was very influential. So maybe an older brother and sister, or an aunt, or even like a friend. But I feel like it's an older energy, or even like a teacher, professor type thing. But for a lot of you, it's going to be like maybe a parental thing, that maybe you fully weren't allowed to be yourself in some way in your life. And you, like this part of you didn't even realize was kind of slipped out from under you, the Seven of Swords, and you're feeling like it's coming back. So the way you're coming about this is, the situation in the first 2 weeks is going to present something where you're going to have to be emotionally flexible, and it's going to get you to have these memories come back, and you're going to be able to work through emotionally these things that could have happened. But essentially what it is that you have the ability to really move in a better direction in your life. And for each of you, it's going to be different how this is going to come about. But by mid-October to the end of October, you're going to kind of know like, wow, okay, I've completely changed my thinking and view and the way I felt about something that's happened in my life that was transformative, especially that had to do with someone that was maybe an authority figure, in my life. So yeah, this is a great time for you. Remember to, take these changes, and you have the power to kind of move this in a positive direction. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Taurus and or the second house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped out is the Four of Wands reversed. Now, traditionally, this card refers to like celebrations, like, birthdays, weddings, holidays, things of that nature. But because it's the number four, it's about, how these celebrations or gatherings have the ability to stabilize us in our life. Like, it's really important for, humans, which we all know, to have celebrations and gatherings. Okay, it's an important part of, where we can get together and celebrate something, whether that be a birthday, an anniversary, some sort of a holiday or a wedding. Okay, and I feel like this first half of October is something to where you're either going to be at some sort of a celebration or gathering. It could just be a gathering of people also, but under the, flag of like being a celebration, right? And you're supposed to learn something about this, and the learning process is going to put you in a better position moving forward in your life through this month and just from now on, because you're learning a very valuable lesson. Now, what is that lesson? Let's look at your timeline. So you've got the Two of Cups reversed. You've got the Ace of Swords reversed. And you've got the Four of Pentacles reversed. Now, what does this all mean? So with this kind of gathering or celebration, okay, and it could be even something as like a work party or like a pizza party, okay, so some sort of a gathering where there's people for a certain reason, right? This Two of Cups is saying that there is a connection to someone, okay, and as I said, for each of you, it's going to be different. Is it family? Is it a loved one? Romantic relationship? Is it a friend? Is it a work partner? Something to that effect. That there was a connection, but something is being revealed to you where it's almost like this situation that you're kind of seeing them for who they kind of truly are. They're showing you themselves. And you're supposed to learn this because one of the skills that you're learning with the North Node in Taurus, or the second house, is how to be down to earth, how to be practical, how to see things in their very kind of basic, most simple form, okay? Which is opposed to your South Node in Scorpio and the eighth house, which is deep, dark psychological complexity, right? So the ability to decipher things and put them into a logical perspective. So you're seeing this, and I feel like it's going to, how you're going to see it and understand it is through some sort of maybe a negative communication. So Swords is referring to communication and intellect, and I feel like this Ace of Swords reversed is saying that there's going to be some sort of a communication where there could be an exchange of words or ideas, and you're seeing this person in a new light. And it could be like through a text or an email or a physical conversation of some sort. And the thing about this going to make this difficult is I feel like with this Four of Pentacles reversed, so this was a person in your life that you felt like you needed in your life, like you needed a connection with them. And you're realizing that you shouldn't have that connection, because it's not like they don't necessarily have all of your best interests within them at all times. Now, there might be caring and even love there, okay? But even people that, like love us can, for some reason, because of their own hangups, envy, or jealousy, or any other reason, insecurities, might not honor what's best for us. And an idea, like an analogy would be, like you think of the overbearing mother archetype, where they love their child, but they don't realize, like they think they're trying to protect them, or they don't want to lose them to another. And so even though there's love there, it's almost like a toxic, smothering type of love, right? So that's an example of what this kind of energy is, that you feel like you need them. And I don't feel like you necessarily have to cut them out of your life, but you have to realize what's going on. And as I said, it's going to be different for each of you. Now, this Four of Pentacles is obviously saying reversed. It's like saying, like, let go, don't hold on to this situation and relationship. Not necessarily, as I said, literally letting it go, but we can let it go mentally and emotionally. Like, okay, I see, you have issues and all of this. I have to kind of separate my energy. And that's what we're really talking about, like mental and emotional kind of energy. For some of you, it may be actual physical distance, okay? But as I said, for each of you, you're going to have to make that own kind of call on your own. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Ten of Cups upright, and you've got the Page of Swords. Now, the reason that this is happening, as I said before, is for you to recognize and see things in your life in a very clear, methodical, logical way that's grounding. And this is a lifetime for you to not get kind of overtaken by the complexities of people and relationships and their hang-ups. And like, obviously there should be engagement, but this is a lifetime for you to like, to streamline, to connect to the simplicity of the joy of just living, like an uncomplicated life is what I'm saying here. And so what this 10 of Cups is saying is go into, the second half of October, just like the first half of October that we're talking about, which is honor the people that really have your back, that really genuinely want what's best for you and put you first, type of a thing. And I think you have people in there. And this is going to be the contrast. You're going to see that, oh, wow, like there are different people that I have in my life that I'm in relationships with. And even though I might care about them and they might care about me, they're not all equal, and that's what you're trying to discern. Who are these relationships in your life that maybe don't have what's fully best for you, type of a thing. And so you want to cling on to those and rely on those that you do have in your life that have your back. And then this Page of Swords is saying, this is something that you're being vigilant and being shown. You're seeing something and you're able to arm yourself in the future, knowing like how to see through relationships and simplify and take ones that are really benefiting you and strengthening those, and then maybe others not giving as much energy. Okay, so this is like a separation of the positive relationships in our life and those that aren't so positive. Okay, but yeah, very, very positive thing overall, because of the fact that when you take this skill forward, you're going to be able to save a lot of energy emotionally and mentally, and it's going to feed other parts of your life in a very, very positive way. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Gemini and or the third house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped out for you is the Queen of Wands upright. Now, the thing about, what we call the court cards, which are, the king, queen, knight, and pages, is they can be actual people in our lives and our situations and readings, or they can be, energies or like archetypes. And I feel like when I saw this card, it immediately, the word that came into my mind was like confidence, and then like inspiration. One of the things that the wands in the tarot deck signify is, energy, both physical and non-physical energy, inspiration, passion, and also, confidence. And I feel like that what's happening for you North Nodes in Gemini is that you are becoming stronger as an individual. You're becoming stronger, but realizing that there is a strength as you become strong as an individual. You're realizing that you're not doing it on your own. Now, why do I say that? This is really interesting. So this, Queen of Wands here, if you notice down below her feet, below the throne here, is a black cat. Now, why is this significant? In paganism, okay, the witch is said to have a familiar. Okay, so when we can have like an animal familiar that's supposed to be like an helper and a guide for us, right? And what this is signifying is that, you can even think of it as a pet. Like, what do pets provide for us? Support, companionship, love, and that's why we love them. But this is saying that, as you're getting stronger, you're realizing that you have a support structure behind you. You have people and their ideas and people around you that are helping you to be strong. You're not doing it on your own. And I really feel like that's one of the things you're learning. You're learning that there is a strength in those that are around you that are here to help you as you're, kind of growing into this person of, as I said, more confidence and, and a change of energy overall energy field. So let's get some more clarity. We'll look at your timeline. So you've got the Empress card reversed, and you've got the Three of Swords reversed, and you've got the King of Swords reversed. Okay, so what does this all mean? The reason that this confidence is returning to you, okay, is that at some point in your life, there was a situation to where it feels like something was taken away from you, from who you were. You have this reversed Empress. It could have been something that was another person in a relationship, but something that was, like painful that you've gone through. And it kind of took something away from you. Okay. And I'm seeing this energy a lot this month. It's just really interesting. So it's taken it took its toll on you, but now there's a healing that's happening within you. So this Three of Swords is saying, yes, there was a wounding that happened, but it's reversed. And it's saying that you're healing from whatever this wound was. It could have been in a, personal relationship, like a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family situation, even a work situation. But this wounding that happened, you are finally healing from it. Now, the thing that made this painful, and I see this, King of Swords reversed, is that I think this is representing kind of the energy or the person, if it's a single person, for many of you it will be, probably most of you, that there was it was mainly like mental games or negative communication that this person had. And as I said, this could be anywhere in your life from a child on up, but was very impactful for you. And I'm feeling and like seeing this card and feeling like you know like mental manipulation and or like negative communication. Okay. And it was painful, but you're finally healing from that. And this is this thing that you've been working on, that when you do this, you're realizing that there are, resources and people around you that are backing you up. Okay. And you're becoming more confident, stronger within yourself, and healing from this. Now, the way it's going to come about is you've got this Seven of Swords upright, and you've got this Six of Cups reversed. Many times in our life, like this is so common, like when I do readings and I'll kind of talk to clients about past situations. Many times when we go through things that are difficult, we know they're difficult, obviously, but we don't know what we actually lose in the process. Okay, so you hear what I'm saying there? We don't understand. We know that it was something that was not great, but then we kind of like, time heals it somewhat, and then we go on about our lives. But what we never realize is what was taken from us. And so the first step is understanding like what was taken. So let's say that, at some point during this wounding in the past, that, you realize that it was knocked you down in your confidence level in some part of your life, right? And then you healed from it and went on, and maybe this relationship is still with you, maybe it's not with you. It doesn't, that's not the point. The point is that you're going to realize what was taken from you. And that's the first step in healing. We realize like, oh wow, like they knocked down my confidence, or they took something away from me emotionally. They made me not be as trusting of a person, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So you're going to recognize it this first half of October. And this is going to, you have the Six of Cups, which is about our past, many times back to our childhood. This is going to make sense for you finally why things have transpired, and it's going to be this big aha moment. And even though it might be initially, when you think about this and you see what had happened, it might be slightly like a little bit of a blow to the system. The end result is going to be, it's going to strengthen you, and you're going to get this confidence back, because you're going to realize, wow, like, why did I even listen to that person or that situation? Why did I give it so much power? So this essentially is you regaining your power. Okay. And it's very, very positive. And as I said, you have resources around you that can help you, and realize that this is a lifetime for you of being in partnership with other people. Partnership meaning all of your friends, family, coworkers. You're here to become a team member, okay, with other people, and not go it on your own. Okay, so that's really what this is saying. But yeah, very, very transformative first half of October. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the Empress card upright. And I thought this was really interesting because the first word that came to my mind was mother. Now, the thing about being a North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house is that, Cancer is the sign that rules the mother. And there is something really unique about the archetype of what I call like the strong mother, which is like the typical, or you could say archetypal mother that, we all think of as being someone who is strong but also tender. So it's that balance. Like think about the single mom who has 4 kids and she has to work 2 jobs to support them, and how she's very like loving and understanding and kind and supportive, but also tough at the same time if she has to like take on that role with her children. And so that's one of the things that, whether you're watching this reading and you're whatever sex or gender you are, it doesn't matter, because one of the things in this lifetime is, for each of us that has this North Node in Cancer, which I do, is to take on some of the role of being this kind of person in the world, which is that archetype of the strong mother. And I feel like this is something to where a lot of you are realizing that, as I said, whether, male, female, any gender or sex orientation, it's something to where we can all use that strength in our lives and help people with it. So how it's going to play out, let's look at your timeline card. So you've got the 3 of Pentacles upright. You've got the Page of Swords upright, and you've got the 10 of Wands reversed. Now this is interesting. It's funny because, like I said, when I look at cards, I know the multiple layer meanings of all the cards, but sometimes it'll hit me in a new way. So this 3 of Pentacles, normally this is something to where this is obviously an artisan working, being observed by people. Many times, when a person gets this reading, you are the artisan getting observed by other people. Occasionally you are this kind of other person or people observing someone else's work. But when I saw this, what this was really telling me is that you are seeing yourself, you are both the observer and the observed, okay? So you're seeing a part of yourself and honoring a part of yourself that you never did before, okay? And you're realizing that, a lot of the work that you've put in working on emotional intelligence gifts that you have, and having to like struggle with a South Node in Capricorn in the 10th house, and having this struggle between, like, when we have this North Node, it could be sometimes for some people, at least for parts of their life, like a struggle between a married couple or like a father and a mother, and so there's this push-pull thing that goes on. But what you're finally learning is you're finally learning that you have this inborn strength in you that you haven't really fully realized before. So you are seeing this in yourself, and you're seeing the value of that. Now, why do I say that? You've got the Page of Swords here upright. This is a card of being vigilant or observing something, seeing something, and understanding it. We have the swords representing the mind and communication. And so you're seeing this in yourself, this strength. And what this is doing is it's ultimately having you take off burdens that you were once carrying. See, the thing about our North Node is as we're moving toward it, sometimes it can actually many times feel like this burden we're carrying because, think of like a tug of war. As I said, this struggle between our South Node and our North Node. Sometimes it's like this tug of war and it creates a tension. It can, be burdensome to carry that tension. And when we finally realize part of ourselves where we can let go some of the things that are in our past and in our South Node, and we can embrace the North Node, that tension relaxes and we can unburden ourselves. And I think that's what's happening this first half of October, is you're seeing this in yourself. You're seeing this archetype that you have within you of how it can not only serve you in this life, but help others around you, and it can be this benefit to them. So yeah, really, really transformative. Now let's look at your advice card. So you've got the King of Wands upright, and you have the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, the Nine of Wands reversed is saying that this is something where the reason you're having this realization finally, you are observing things within yourself and within your life, is because you're learning from the past. And that's what this card is saying, is that you have taken situations and things that have happened in your past, and they're helping you put the pieces together to understand why it is things have happened in your life, why it is you had certain things you had to go through, or why you had certain, reactions of things in your life. And so this is about learning. So when we have so many experiences, after a while, most people start learning, we see patterns. Okay. And that's another thing that this card is saying, is that, definitely pattern recognition in our life is like super important. Now, the end result is this King of Wands here. So we have this archetype strong mother here with the Empress. But how are you going to use that? How is that energy used in the world? Well, when you think of the King of Wands, it's what we would call the quintessential benevolent strong king, having the strength of the fire signs. The wands represent fire, so the strength of like Aries, Sagittarius, okay, Leo, having that, but having the wonderful side, I guess, energetic that's coming in, that is that softer side. So we think of that as like the benevolent king or the benevolent queen. Okay, so this card can apply to, as I said, whatever, sex, gender, doesn't matter. It still applies. The difference between the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands is how the energy is expressed, and any sex or gender can express that. Okay, that energy. And as I said, this is the benevolent enlightened king. So the end result is you are going to see this strength in yourself and see its value and its usefulness in your life. So you're seeing something within yourself that you didn't see before, and you're seeing that it's benefiting you. Okay, so very, very positive, very, very strong. So what is that? Honor that part in yourself. Honor the parts of yourself that are vulnerable, because there's strength in vulnerability. That's how we kind of get to the core of things. And so this, having this combination of confidence and vulnerability, is the balance that we're talking about. And I just feel like the tension that you were feeling is lessening, and there's burdens that are going to be lifted off of you because you're going to see this within yourself. So yeah, very, very positive reading. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you see some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. A North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. Okay, so the card that popped out for you is the Fool card reversed. Now, the Fool is one of those cards that is misunderstood because, when we in modern culture, when we think of a fool, if someone being foolish, it's not very, very positive, right? But the Fool card is not a bad card. It's actually a very positive card. But it's about the, childlike exuberance that we have in new beginnings. Okay. So it's like when we are starting something new, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new job. Okay. But when we're children, we just have this exuberance and optimism. And that's what this is saying. Now, this reading is like super positive. What this is saying is that part of this, something that, and I'm seeing this a lot for the North nodes, where parts of themselves are coming back in the month of October, like missing parts of ourselves are reattaching, and for each North node, I'm seeing it's in a different way, okay? But something is coming back to you where maybe you lost something along the way during your path, through life, and it's coming back to you now. Maybe something that you dreamt about, something you wanted to be, the kind of person that you wanted to be, it's kind of coming back to you. Now, we'll look at your timeline and we'll get some more clarity. So you've got the Sun card upright, you've got the Page of Swords upright, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. Now, it's funny because, like, for a couple of the readings, I've gotten the Page of Swords in this position in the timeline. So it's really uncanny how this is like an overrunning theme this month for a lot of the North nodes. Now, this Page of Swords is saying that this is the observation of something in your life. You are observing something, you're becoming vigilant and seeing something in a very clear way. And as I said, this is parts of yourself that you didn't know that were missing from you. Now, why do I say it has this like childlike exuberance? Well, you've got this Sun card here, and you can see that you have this child riding the white horse and the sun is shining in the background. And the Sun card is a beautiful card to get. It's this optimism that we have when we're younger. Sometimes we lose it and it might pop into our lives throughout our lives. As I said, when we start something new or we turn over a new leaf, so to speak, okay? And I feel like a lot of you are in this process right now where you're finding yourself again. You're finding the missing pieces of something that you had. And even if it's something small, like it might not seem at first that it's going to transform your life overnight, but nothing happens overnight. But what I see this is like a catalyst. This is like a little spark of something that is going to have great, great changes moving forward. Okay. So you see, a lot of times in life, we want things, on, off, black, white. Something happens. I want my life to be transformed overnight, but that's not how this works, right? So, but I think that this is going to be the beginning of something that this little spark can grow and grow and grow. And I think that that's what this is. You're going to see that this missing part of you is coming back. And it's wild how this is playing out this month. Now you've got the Wheel of Fortune card at the end. Okay. This is another card that has come up in readings this month. Really, really amazing to get this card in its final position here, because this is literally saying that if you are able to bring back the missing pieces of yourself to who you were at your strongest time in your life, this can have way important future benefits, very, very positive things for your future. Okay, literally turning your fortunes around and bringing all the best things that life has to offer. So it's important to recognize that. Now let's look at your advice cards. Okay, you've got the Tower card upright and you've got the Hierophant reversed. What this is simply saying is that the way this is going to play out is the Tower is not necessarily negative. It can just be like some sort of a shocking moment that comes to where we realize something. It's something that is a sudden occurrence. And as I said, not necessarily negative, but the reason that it's looked at as negative a lot of times is because you see these people falling out of the tower. But it's not that it's not always cataclysmic like that in a negative way, but it's like this is sometimes when we have this awakening, it seems like it turns for a short time our world upside down. It's shocking, right? So like, let's just say, I'll use this example. Okay, all of us have probably experienced some time in our life where we were in a relationship. Okay, this could be any sort of relationship: family, friends, romantic, work relationship, someone we knew, right? And we thought that they were a certain way, or we thought that the relationship was a certain way. And then all of a sudden something happens and we have this shocking moment. Okay, that's the kind of energy that that could be. So it's not necessarily negative. It is maybe in just that moment, but then afterwards we're like, oh, okay, I see things clearly now. What you're going to see here with this Hierophant reversed is, this is talking about our traditional patterns. One of the meanings of this card is what our personal traditional patterns are. We all have them. Now, we can change our patterns throughout our life, but we have to become aware of them, right? And every human has patterns, both good and bad, okay? And with this Hierophant reversed, it's like this moment is, you're going to see patterns in your life. And this could be within, like as I said, a certain relationship. It could be in a job, something where you're going to have this realization. And what this is going to do is, this is going to set you, you're going to have the ability to see things clearly and move in a different direction, have a new beginning, but essentially kind of get back some of that optimism and exuberance and parts of yourself that were missing because of something that was a pattern. And I feel like it's going to have to do with some situation in your life that you're going to see differently. Now, that's important to move through this, because one of the things you're learning as a Leo or fifth house North Node is to approach life like an adventure. Okay, of all the North Nodes, this is a North Node of adventure and experience. And, you might think of like the knight fighting the dragon, the knight in shining armor rescuing the damsel, or, anything to that effect. And, as I said, the knights can be, they're not gender or sex specific. So it could be, that energy type of a thing, because any sex or gender can be the knight in shining armor, right? But this is a moment to kind of get that kind of energy back into your life. And I feel like it's going to be super transformative. So yeah, wow, powerful reading. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house. Okay, interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the 9 of Cups reversed. Now, traditionally, this card is known, one of the names for it is the wish card, the emotional wish card. And the reason it's reversed is because I feel like what's happening for the first half of October for you North Nodes in Virgo or the 6th house is a former like dream of yours or wish of yours is going to start to kind of bubble up again. Like maybe there was a part of your life, that you abandoned at some point for whatever reason, and you're kind of bringing it back. It could be like a desire to start something in a certain direction in your life, and maybe you kind of gave that up. And this could go back, years, or it could be relatively close. And I feel like you're now learning to take that dream and you're seeing how you can make it a reality. Now, this could be anything from major things like, relationships. It could be, job and career, or it could be as minor as just like saying like, okay, I was a musician or an artist before and I kind of gave it up and I'm going back in that direction. Okay, so it's like this important part of yourself that was like a wish or desire or dream, and that it's coming back to you. Now, your timeline cards will give us kind of more clarity on this. So you've got the 10 of Wands upright. you've got the Knight of Cups upright, and you've got the Four of Cups upright. Now, we'll start with the Ten of Wands here. Okay, the Ten of Wands a lot of times is looked at as a negative card. We call it carrying burdens, okay? And many times it is, okay? You see this person carrying these wands and working hard. But that's not what this is for you, okay? One of the meanings of this card, and I don't really hear, honestly, like a lot of other readers ever talk about this, but one of the meanings for me in this card is sometimes in life, carrying burdens is a positive thing, okay? Now, let me explain that. You might think taking on burdens, right? Well, let's say a person is trying to get healthy, okay? They want to get physically healthy. So what they start doing is they start like eating really well, taking care of themselves, and they start working out, okay? And they're doing that, okay? When they do that at first, they're taking on burdens. It's not easy to I'll regulate your diet all the time, especially if you're not used to doing it, right? It's not easy to, if you need to, work your body in some way to start that. You're carrying a burden, but it's a positive burden. Now, another example would be, let's say a person wants to learn a musical instrument or some other skill that takes time to learn. You're carrying a burden when you start an instrument like guitar or some other stringed instrument. It hurts your fingers, okay? I know I'm a guitarist, okay? When you first start, you're having your hands do things that, and there could be like aches and pains involved, okay? So, but it's a positive burden. That's what I'm talking about. And so what I think that's happening for you is you are seeing that this dream, you're seeing the way forward and what you need to do in order to make it happen. And see, that was the missing piece, is you had the dream, but you didn't really see where it was, how it was going to come about. Okay, so I feel like this first half of October, you're going to see how to go about it, or begin to see. Now, the Knight of Cups here, this is the romantic dreamer. This is like when we, in the examples I just gave a couple of moments ago about wanting to get healthy, right? It's like, what is energizing our quest, what's energizing our dream, is the goal of what the end result is. And you could see that this, romantic dreamer, you think of knights, they're on a quest, right? They're on a mission. And that what you're doing is you're finding, I'm putting in this hard work. This is becoming part of my mission, what I'm here to do and what I want to accomplish. Do I want to, embark on this new career, a new education path, move to a new area of the world, whatever it is. For each of you, it's different. And this is this dream, you're, taking on the burdens to make it become reality. It becomes your quest and your passion. Now, here's what's important about this, is it's really important as you're moving forward to recognize that there are parts of the dream that you might not see down the road, okay? So a lot of times when you hear people that are very successful, they don't exactly know every single step from beginning to achieving success. That could be anyone that's an artist, a movie producer, a musician, actor, actress, an author. We don't see the end result. We just move through. Like, I've heard J.K. Rowling in interviews, like when she was writing, she knew she had like something and it was her passion and she was enjoying writing the Harry Potter series, but she had no idea of where it was going to end up. She just wanted it to be a successful, children's book, okay? Successful. She had no idea the amount of success. And so what I'm saying is that as you move forward, don't look too far ahead. Just realize that this is, the more you keep on your quest, the more this dream is going to become alive. And I feel like at the end of the road, even though you can't see it, because this is the thing about this whole, Virgo North Node as opposed to Pisces, is we sometimes want to see the full picture. That's Pisces. We want to see everything. We want to see from here to the end of the universe, right? And so this is something to where just take step by step moving forward on your mission in order to accomplish this. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Ace of Pentacles and you've got the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So pentacles are things of value in our life, everything from money and finances down to things we own, also whatever we value in our life, our time, our loved ones, all of that, okay? What this is really doing is that this is giving you, no matter what this is for each of you, no matter what your personal quest is, it's giving you something tangible to bring your dream into reality. That's one of the big things about North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house is bringing dreams and ideas and wishes into reality. Okay, that's what this Ace of Pentacles is saying. Now, through this process, again, going along with this Four of Cups is, remember that you can't always see the end result. When you plant a seed, you can see here, 7 of Pentacles, you have a gardener here looking at his plants, okay? When we plant a seed, we don't know exactly how that plant is going to come out. We just keep watering it and taking care of it, and we watch its growth, and we're patient. And at the end, we'll see what fruit it bears. That's what this is saying. Stay patient with this. Stay patient with yourself. And as you move through this, you're going to see at the end of the road, whatever this is, that is something that you're taking on as your quest is going to have a very, very good payoff for you down the road. Stay patient and stay vigilant. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. Okay, interesting. The theme card that popped up for you is the Three of Wands. And when I saw this card, it was really telling me that there is something that is causing you to look forward into the future, to think about your future, to think about your plans. Kind of like a lot of you are at this place like, what direction do I go in some area of your life? It could be multiple areas for some of you, or one, or two distinct areas. But you're thinking about like, okay, where is it that I want to kind of go from here? For a lot of you, it's going to be like work and career related. And even if you're, not working a traditional job, it's like what you want to do with your time, type of a thing where you're thinking, where am I going to go? What do I want to do? Let's look at your timeline cards and we'll get some more clarity. So you've got the 8 of Pentacles reversed. You've got the King of Wands reversed, and you've got the 3 of Cups upright. So, starting with this 8 of Pentacles, this is, the work card. You can see that there's a crafts person here. They're working on some project here, the Pentacles. And this is like, work you do. And as I said, this could be something that's creative on the side. It could be your regular work or career vocation. It could be a hobby, something that you want to do, but it's basically something that you're doing in the world. And it's reversed here. And a lot of you are having areas of your life where you're not feeling inspired, maybe, Now, that's what this King of Wands reversed is saying. This is referring to your South Node in Aries, or the 1st house, which is, about your passion in what you do and how you live your life. And so I feel like a lot of you, there's like one or more areas of your life where you're just not like feeling the passion or drive, and you maybe been thinking about kind of making changes. And as I said, this not only could be work or career, but it could be what you're doing in the world, something that you want to do, you want to create. And I think you're going to find that what it is that you want to do. But as I said, it has to inspire you. And that's what this 3 of Cups is saying, that what you ultimately should do is something in the world that involves other people. Okay, so what do I mean by that? This means that, this isn't a lifetime for people that have their North Node in Libra or the 7th house. This isn't a lifetime for you to be like the lone wolf, okay? Now, a lot of you have the gift of being able to be extremely self-reliant and independent, okay? Now, that is a gift. But remember, you can't go through your life just depending on your own resilience. You have to, like, this is a lifetime to work with others. The seventh house and Libra rules, relationships, and it rules the other, whereas Aries and the first house rules the self. Okay, so what is really going to drive you forward and give you the most fulfillment, even if it doesn't seem like it on the surface, is something that involves intertwining your skills, your thoughts, your passions with other people. Okay, now whether that is in a work or job situation, whether that is in something you're trying to create in the world, or something that you want to do, if it involves other people and having a connection emotionally to other people, it's going to fulfill you and be successful. So that's the clue for you. That's what this Three of Cups is saying. Is the clue is, if it involves being not only connected to people, but having to rely on their skills as well as yours, allowing them to, work with you. Okay. And when you do that, you're going to see that things will come together. So that should be an indication when you're making your plans of, where it is you want to put your energy moving forward. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Six of Wands reversed, and you've got the Death card reversed. Now, as I always say, all of the so-called scary cards, death, the devil, the tower, they're not cards to fear, because we're not talking literal death, or just like the devil card's not talking about a literal demon or the devil is going to pop up. Okay, these are archetypal energies that we're dealing with, right? So what does death mean? Death is transformation. In order for our life to change, we have to change. We have to change some aspect of our life in order for our life to transform. So death is transformation, and it's reversed here, as well as the Six of Wands. And so all this is saying is, the Six of Wands is bringing up the fact that you may not, there may be an area of your life where you're not feeling like you are succeeding or moving forward or winning. Okay, and the interesting thing is, both of these cards have, white horses. Okay, and whenever you see a horse in the tarot, it means movement, right? And they're both reversed. So what this is saying is that in order for you to move forward, some part of your thinking, or the way you're approaching this area of your life, or parts of your life that we're talking about that relate to your personal story, some part has to change and transform. And when it does, that's the secret to success. So what I'm saying here, the two clues are, some aspect or aspects of your life have to change and transform. You have to change direction. And the other clue is, it should, whatever you do in this lifetime, it should deeply involve other people, whether that be in partnerships of some sort, but just remember, you're in partnership. You don't have to do things in this lifetime alone or by yourself, even though you are quite capable of doing so. Most of you that have this North Node are quite capable of being self-sufficient, as I said, okay? But this is a lifetime for you to team up with people. So whatever, as you're planning, start thinking about this. Will narrow the scope of your search when you're looking for what direction to take. Take those two clues that we talked about and apply them, and see if you come up with something that involves others, and that is a departure from, the normal way you approach life and situations. If it's a departure and it's a change and it'll transform your life in some way, that's like the big clue. Take that direction, and don't be afraid to do something, like completely different, or do something that you haven't done before, even if it feels uncomfortable. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. Okay, interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the Ace of Pentacles upright. In the first half of October, I feel like there's going to be something that's relating to everything that has to do with pentacles. So things of value for us. Now that could be everything from like money and finances, property, investments, but also non-tangible valuables like our relationships, our health, our peace of mind, our time. All of these things are, valuable things to us that are non-tangible. So I think it's going to involve something to that effect. Now, on your timeline, you've got the Two of Cups reversed, you've got the Four of Cups upright, and you've got the Chariot card reversed. So starting with the Two of Cups, okay, so this is about connecting on an emotional level, and it can be relationships, not only romantic relationships, but this also mostly refers a lot of times to non-romantic relationships. So our relationships with others, coworkers, family, friends, okay, can even be situations. Now this is reversed. The interesting thing about this card is that this is relating to people, are relating to people that are very different than us. Now, why do I say that? Because if you look at this card, you've got these two individuals and they're very different. This one figure over here has this beautiful cerulean blue robe over white with a green, leafy wreath around their head. And this other person has this black and yellow tunic with a red headband. And what the reason for that is that every single thing in this tarot deck has deep meanings, deep layered meanings. This means that these people are meeting together and they're meeting on an emotional level and they're getting along, but they're very different people. But see, it's reversed here. So what I'm thinking here for the first half of October is you are learning what it means to value who you are and what others are also, even though that they're very kind of different. And there is a value in having people in our life that are different than us, that think differently. Because we can learn a lot from people. If everyone in our life that we surround, they call it like an echo chamber, right? Where they all just agree with us. They have the same exact experiences, the same exact tastes, right? So we need people in our life where we can kind of, learn and grow from. And, sometimes we might teach them something and they might teach us something, and back and forth, right? And I think that that's one of the big things about this, is that you're learning the value in having others that aren't necessarily exactly like you on the emotional level. Now, this Four of Cups is saying that this is something that's coming as a realization to you because you just didn't see it before, right? It's like something that you were looking at these cups, you were very aware of these cups that are in front of you, all the emotional situations. But it was like there was like something missing. That's why they say a lot of times that, like, not always, but a lot of times, opposites attract, because, you might have the very kind of more quiet and reserved person who becomes attracted to the more outgoing, more kind of a boisterous personality. Okay. It could, sometimes that works and we're attracted to opposites. Not all the time, but this is saying that there's this missing a piece of the puzzle. Now, we're not just talking about romantic relationships. This is just referring to the valuable people resources that you have around you that you may not be seeing. Now, the Chariot reversed, the Chariot is a card of movement. And when the Chariot's reversed, it means that it's off course in some way. So what this is saying that when you recognize the resources, and I feel like for most of you, there's at least one important relationship that you're not really looking at to its fullest extent to appreciate the value in it, okay? So for each of you, it's going to be at least, I think, one important relationship. But what this is saying is that this is going to help you get on a better course. Like, I feel like this person, in some cases, multiple people, will help you get on a better course, that where you might be veering off in a certain direction. And again, that's because when we surround ourselves in our life with everything that is exactly to our liking at all times, there's no growth there. And so when you figure this out, again, this card is also talking about opposites, right? You've got the black sphinx and you've got the white sphinx here. And this is saying that, these are polar opposites, okay? But when they're balanced, when we allow ourselves to look at the benefits of the black sphinx and also the white sphinx, if we go off in one direction and we're too short-sighted, we're going to go off course. So this is saying, like, take advantage of the valuable resources that you have around you that you can learn from, even if it's something that at first seems like I don't know if this is something that can benefit me. But as you look deeper, you're going to see how it will benefit you. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Justice card reversed, and you've got the Three of Swords upright. So the Justice card is saying this is going on because this is trying to balance you out in some way. Remember that your south node is in Taurus and the second house. Okay, that is a very independent sign. Okay, in a very independent house, Taurus is. And remember, part of your life path, if you have a north node in Scorpio or the 8th house, is becoming deeply involved and enmeshed with others, with learning from others, being connected to others at a deep emotional and psychological level. And so what this is saying is, you can see the scales of balance here. This is saying that this is something that's happening in order to balance out this part of your life. Now, the Three of Swords is an interesting thing here, because one of the things that this can involve is there could be a fear of getting hurt in some way. Like, for example, stepping out, like there's a fear here, but it's a fear on the emotional level. Like, if I get too deeply enmeshed with this person or this situation, will I get hurt? So there's there's a fear of getting hurt there. And that's one of the things that, you have to overcome, because you might have experimented before where, maybe you've feel like you've gotten too involved in people and they might have burned you or something. And so, when that happens, we're just like, okay, I'm not going there again. Okay. And again, that's what this Four of Cups is saying. You're not seeing it perfectly clearly. And what I'm seeing here is that there are benefits and things of value around you, resources that you need to tap into. And it has to do with others in your life that aren't exactly like you, that don't think like you, act like you, or have all the same skills and knowledge you have. Okay, and when you do that, when you add that in there, don't be afraid of, opening yourself up and connecting to people, because that's part of your path. As you do that, you're going to really see your life unfold and kind of blossom. So, yeah, great reading. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. Okay, the card that popped out for you is the Two of Cups. And when I saw this card, it was telling me that there's some aspect of your life in a relationship that is going to be healed. It might be already in the process of healing, or it is going to start healing this first half of October. And, the reason I say healing is because you can see in the top of this card, there's this, lion's head with wings with this caduceus symbol down below. And, we know that the caduceus symbol is about healing. It's also about, referring to the Greek god, Hermes, right? And so what this is saying is that there's an aspect of your life that is in a relationship situation that is going to be healed. Now, when we heal relationships, many times they're not healed by the two people meeting eye to eye, shaking hands, hugging it out, and then they're all good. Sometimes healing takes place where it's our own personal healing or the other person's healing, and we might not have fully solved or healed the issues together, but individually we may have healed it. Okay, so for each of you it's going to be different. For some, there's a relationship where maybe, you know, it's a family member or something that you're close to, but you had a disagreement and you maybe had a falling out for a while, and then you hug it out and you laugh and cry and all that. Okay, you heal it, you move on. But for others of you, it'll be just something to where the relationship can't be healed in that way, but you can heal it within yourself. Okay, so that's what the big theme is for this half of October. Now, your timeline cards are telling us a lot. So you've got the Eight of Cups upright, you've got the Queen of Swords reversed, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Now, the Eight of Pentacles, you can see that what this is making sense of and walking away from an emotional situation, okay? But the keywords are, you know, making sense of and then walking away. Now, when you walk away from something, it doesn't necessarily that you might like walk away from the relationship, but you walk away from, you know, that situation or that particular situation. So to get more clarity, let's say that, using that example of there's a family member that you had a falling out and you're able to say, you know, hug it out and say, okay, you know, I'm sorry, you know, they're sorry, you're sorry, and you move on. Okay, that is part of it. You've left that situation, you've worked on it, and you're leaving it behind, but you've made sense of it. But other times, this is the key, is about making sense of it. That's why these cups are all stacked neatly, because they're not just thrown against the wall and you run away from it, but it's very carefully, you've made sense of it, and now you're moving on, okay? Now this card, the Eight of Pentacles, is going to play into another part of this reading in a moment, but let's go on with your timeline. So you've got the Queen of Swords reversed, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. The Queen of Swords is a card that, when it's reversed, the Queen of Swords is known as a difficult card in the tarot deck, okay? And anyone that knows tarot knows what I'm talking about. It can be something where it's a person or a situation that wasn't too pleasant. I'll put it that way, okay? There could have been really negative communication, or really, bad vibes, or things that were said or had done it. So it's a difficult thing. And a lot of you may be dealing with something like that, where maybe something got kind of out of hand and kind of ugly. Now, where it's going right now is that it's causing you this reversed Seven of Pentacles is the reason that you feel like you're going to need to heal this in some way or the other, whether that be with yourself or between that person or people, is that you're feeling this impatience. Like it's like something to where I gotta clean that. It's like a dirty garage or closet where it's bugging you for a long time, and finally, like, I just don't have the patience to deal with that anymore. I have to clean up that closet, or I have to clean out that garage or shed or something to that effect. And that's what this is. So this is going to be spurred on because you're finally like, I don't want to live with this anymore. So once and for all, I either have to, make amends or heal this, or I have to heal it within myself. Okay. And so, like I said, for a lot of you, it could be a situation that maybe kind of got a little, nasty and not nice to some, or just didn't feel great. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Hermit card and you've got the King of Wands, both upright. Now, a moment ago, I mentioned that this Eight of Cups was going to play into, later in the reading, and that's where this comes in. As you can see that this person in the Eight of Cups, after they've made sense of this emotional situation or relationship, they take their staff and they begin traveling up the mountain, okay? Now, where they end up is the Hermit card, which is the card of wisdom. It's the card of illumination, of seeing something, seeing the big picture finally, okay? And so that's one of the things, that the reason you're doing this is because, and the reason you're cleaning out this emotional closet or your emotional garage or attic is because this is going to help you to be the highest version of yourself, to gain that wisdom of like not having things hold you down or kind of hold you back. And that's part of this, is you attaining the wisdom that you need to attain in this lifetime. Now, another reason I say that is because remember, we're dealing with your North Node in Sagittarius or the ninth house. This has to do with, you know, belief systems, religion, for philosophy, the wise man, the wise woman. This has to do with philosophy, okay? This has to do with higher learning. This has to do with, yes, wisdom, okay? And so part of your life path and is gaining wisdom throughout this lifetime, gaining wisdom and seeing the wisdom of taking a path that's maybe different than a lot of people, okay? And that's perfectly fine, but this wisdom is what your goal is. Now, the King of Wands is saying that what's going to happen when you do this, when you clean that garage, you clean that attic, okay, that closet, what's going to end up happening is it's going to energize your life. Like, it's going to add a value, and particularly with energy, I'm seeing and feeling like that's what wands signify, have to do with energy of all sorts, physical energy and also non-physical energy. And so what this is going to do when you do this is very, very powerful. Is this is going to feed your life in new and better ways. Okay, so it's time to, whatever these situations are that need to be cleaned up, if you can't heal them with the other person, and that's fine, but you have to heal them within yourself. You have to say, okay, it happened. What can I learn from that? What can I learn about my life, about myself? I'm not going to blame them, but I can't hold on to this, messy closet or attic any longer. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to move on. And so I think that's what's happening this first half of October. And you're going to see that when you do this, it's really, really going to, enhance your life. And it's going to free you up in a lot of ways energetically. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the Ace of Swords reversed. And the meaning for this reading for you, for this card, is I saw the phrase, it's time to take a stand, both with your words and with your deeds. It's time to maybe to take action of some sort. Okay, that might be standing your ground, standing up for yourself, or just taking action of some sort. When they say, like, for example, we've all seen this in movies many, many times, right? What happens when, the warrior is about to take action and go to battle? What's the first thing they do? We've seen this hundreds of times, right? They draw their sword. Okay, that's the prelude to the action that they're going to take. Okay, so what this is saying is that there's an area or areas of your life, because this is reversed, that you're needing to take action on. Okay, now for some of you it could be like, maybe you need to put someone in your life, set them straight, or you need to stand up for yourself or set boundaries. For others, it could just be taking action. Maybe it's like putting the resume out there and going for the job you really want, or going for the promotion, or furthering your education. But it's making moves in the world, taking action of doing something. Now let's look at your timeline. We'll get a little bit more clarity. So you've got the Strength card reversed, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Three of Cups upright. Now, the Strength card, this is one of the cards in the tarot that's really interesting and really amazing. When you see the Strength card, okay, you see the word strength, you think of being strong or just being a strong person emotionally. But this has real, deep meanings. One of the things that this is talking about is our inner hidden animal nature, okay, and the nature of our other side of ourself. Maybe you could call it like the divine self, or the one that we try to show to the world. There's this balance. We all have this kind of dual personality within ourselves. There are people that need to calm down the lion in their life, okay, who they are. Whoa, calm down that kind of animal side nature, okay? Bring in more of the higher nature. And then there's others that need to bring that out more, and I think that because it's reversed, that's what this is talking about. They're saying that it's good to this side of yourself that you may not have used, maybe you feel afraid to use, like you may need to say something to somebody but you don't really want to, or you need to take an action of some sort, and there could be a fear of doing that. And so what this is saying is that when you definitely need to tap into this, because there's a strength there. See, all of you that have a North Node in Capricorn, and or the 10th house, you have hidden strengths that you're not aware of. You may be aware of some of them, but all of you, I guarantee you, have at least a few that these strengths that are within you that would even surprise you if you begin to flex them in the world. Now, the result of not tapping into that strong side of yourself, that animal nature that we all have, that gives us our survival instinct, it gives us our drives a lot of times. The detrimental thing that can happen is it can cause us to, this Queen of Pentacles reversed is kind of saying like this has to do with self-esteem and self-love and self-worth, okay? And by you beginning to balance out, like, okay, I know I'm a really nice person, I'm a really loving person. However, there's a time when the lion has to come out of the cage, okay? And even though it's scary, I have to confront, I have to go, confront the situation. I have to do the thing that's scary, to take on the new job or career, to further my education. I have to do this scary thing. When you do that, what this does is it's going to feed your self-esteem, because your self-esteem is tied into how you are projecting into the world, okay? And for most of you, it's not about being kind, nice, and emotionally supportive, but it's about doing what is right for you, being strong for you within yourself. Now, the benefit of doing that is not only feed your self-esteem, feed your self-worth, and help that, but eventually what you're going to see is you will be applauded for it. It's going to actually strengthen your relationships and your emotional connections with others. This is the really weird thing about how the North Node works, is when we do something at first, it seems like, wow, how is this going to really benefit me down the road, because it seems so strange. But when you do this, when you become strong within yourself, when you become, you're feeding this self-worth, the fear might be, well, maybe I'll get too mean and people won't like me and all of that. But actually it's going to do the opposite. You're going to be valued more by other people. You're going to be emotionally supported more. The things that you really want in this life, which is, emotional support and connection with others, is going to happen because of that. So yeah, it's really interesting how that kind of works. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the Two of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Nine of Cups upright, okay, the wish card. Now, the Two of Pentacles, this is about balancing, okay? It might be difficult at first because, you need to take baby steps. You're not going to be able to, most of you, accomplish everything you need to accomplish. There could be, just take one or two things, okay? The more you can do, don't be afraid to do it. But even if you just take one thing, like maybe it is having the strength and having the courage to do something, to say something to somebody that needs to be said, or to take some action, okay? Don't try to do everything all at once, because this is a balancing that's going to happen. And start with one thing and work with that, okay? So maybe it's that, there's someone in your life, it could be a family member or someone else, a friend, that's not fully respecting you. Maybe you have to you've been thinking about it for a while, and you might have to, like, set some boundaries. Okay, that is, taking action. Do as much as you feel comfortable doing, but do something. And that's what this is saying here, that this is a balancing, and realize that it's going to take some work and some effort, but you got this. And then this emotional wish card, that's what this card is known as, is that, again, you're going to see the reward for doing this, for being strong within yourself, and for taking the actions that you need to take, even if it's uncomfortable, is really going to pay off for you, okay? And is going to feed your life in new ways. Like, this can really transform your life. But again, be patient about it, be kind to yourself, and take it slow, and just do these things in a way that is not going to be too scary or too uncomfortable, but definitely take those steps, because it is going to pay off, and you're going to see that the things that you really want emotionally in life will come to you. It's really magical how that happens. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, or if you just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. So the theme card that popped out is the Eight of Pentacles upright. Now, yes, this card, it refers to work, or something that we're doing. You can see the artisan here that's working on these pentacles here. So for many of you, this is going to refer to work or career. But even if you're not working a traditional job, if you're a stay-at-home parent, or maybe you're a grandparent who volunteer somewhere, anything you do, even like a hobby or some organization you belong to, work you're doing on the side, it refers to, for each of you, that area of your life that refers to what you're doing on a daily basis, whatever that may be. But as I said, for a lot of you, it could be like work or career. And that's what this is referring to. And this is really saying that there's something that's going to happen within the context of a work career situation, or what it is you're doing on a regular basis, day to day, that's going to be a learning tool for you, and really going to have the opportunity to kind of push you ahead to a better, higher version of yourself. Now, let's look at your timeline cards. We'll get some more clarity. So you've got the Nine of Cups reversed. You've got the Hermit card upright. And you've got the Queen of Swords reversed. So the Nine of Cups is referring to that there could be a feeling that this area of your life that I'm talking about isn't going quite the way you want it to emotionally. Like, this is called the emotional wish card, right? It's like, but it's reversed here, and it's like, it might not be what this is referring to. Whatever you're doing on a daily basis is somehow not completely fulfilling all your wishes and desires and dreams, okay? And so there's some changes that need to be made here. One of the reasons why is we're going to skip ahead over this Hermit card, and we're going to look at this reversed Queen of Swords. I feel like it's because that one of two things, and also it could be the third, which is both. And the two things are, it could be that there is someone in this situation, this work situation, that is marring or making things difficult for you. Okay, it's like a difficult person. It's almost like, have you ever, I think all of us have experienced that. You're like, wow, like, this situation would be amazing if I just didn't have to deal with that person or those people, type of a thing. That, we've all kind of experienced that, right? It's like that one like fly in the jelly jar, or something to that effect. It's like, oh, if we just didn't have that, type of a thing. And I think that that's one of the things that this is referring to. The other thing that this is referring to is that this work situation that you're in, it makes you into a person that you don't want to be, right? And so, a lot of times we're in situations where, like, let's say someone who all of a sudden gets promoted to a management position, right? Where all of a sudden they have to manage people and be the boss, right? And they have to like direct people and tell. That can be really uncomfortable. Some people don't feel comfortable in that role. And so it could feel like it's like they have to be a person that they don't want to be. You know what I mean? They have to be the bad guy or whatever it is. So I feel like this, whatever this is, this situation is, it can be one of two things or both. It can make you not be the kind of person that you want to be, and it also can be a difficult person that you're dealing with, right? Now, the reason we skipped over the Hermit is I wanted to tie this all in, because what this is saying is that there's wisdom to be gained here within this. And the wisdom part is that the reason that this feels uncomfortable is, remember, if you have your North Node in Aquarius or the 11th house, you come from a background with your South Node in Leo or the 5th house of being a person that is used to being honored, used to being respected, used to being listened to. And as I've said many times in my readings of what this is like when you become a North Node in Aquarius or the 11th house, it's literally like the king or the queen or the prince or princess that is from previous lifetimes and all of a sudden is thrown into this lifetime and just having to be an everyday person. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like I'm not special. And it feels weird. It feels like, because you're like, you get sensitive of like, why aren't people like honoring who I am, type of a thing. And so the wisdom in this is to realize how do we deal with this, right? The higher wisdom is seeing that we can't get our direction of who we are as an individual. We can't get our self-worth through how other people treat us. Okay, and this is a difficult thing to do. We have to have our dignity and self-worth within ourselves, because we can't control how others see. A king or a queen, they demand that. I am the king, I am the queen, and you must respect me. And if not, there'll be like trouble. They don't have to work at it at all. And it's just given to them, right? But in this lifetime, what you have to do is you have to already have that dignity and self-worth within you, and realize that there's going to be a lot of people in this lifetime that aren't going to honor that. And one of the reasons is because everybody that has this North Node with that Leo South Node has this natural like inner fire or shine or like star kind of quality, like you are like a kind of a glowing person without even trying. And so that attracts people that have like envy and jealousy and things like that. So it can seem really weird because you have this, and like you can't understand why everyone's not honoring you. So the higher wisdom is this has to come from within, and this is one of the things you're learning. Now, the reason I say that is because of your two advice cards. You've got the Emperor reversed, and you've got the King of Pentacles reversed, okay? Pentacles are referring to things of worth, our time, anything that's valuable and of worth, but especially our self-worth, which is the most valuable thing that we have besides our life and our love and our time, is our own self-worth. And so that's what this is saying is that you need to get this within yourself from who you are as a person, and not, rely on other people to give it to you, especially in like work situations. Now, a lot of you have these natural talents. So as I said, there could be envy and jealousy that comes in work situations. And that's one of the reasons why these people will come into your life. And then the Emperor card is kind of reinforcing that. This is, the Emperor is the enlightened leader. It's someone who has this, inner wisdom, and they shine naturally, and they deserve dignity and they deserve honor. But what you have to do is, in this lifetime, you're not forcing people to give that to you. What you're doing is you are giving it to yourself. You are allowing yourself to be honored. You honor yourself. You give yourself dignity. Don't worry if they don't. You're not getting your dignity in some outside fashion, but it's coming from within. And that's one of the things that you're learning in this lifetime. And it's difficult, but I think you're going to begin to see the wisdom in this beginning in October. And moving forward, remember, we have to allow people to be who they are, just like we are going to be who we are. And not everyone is going to honor us all the time, and that's okay. But we always have to honor ourselves and give ourselves all of the self-worth and dignity that is deserving to us. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you'd just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. Okay, interesting. The card that popped out for you is the Seven of Cups. And I think this month is going to be, for all of you North Nodes in Pisces, extremely important, extremely valuable, and very transformative. Now, why I said that is, you remember in the beginning of all of these readings, I was talking about how the planet Neptune is going back into Pisces until January, okay? And this is going to be the last time in our lifetime that Neptune will be in the sign of Pisces, okay? And whatever house you have your North Node in Pisces is going to be an area of life that's going to be extremely important and transforming over the next several years for you. And what this is saying is that there are choices that you need to make emotionally. There are decisions that you need to make. You can see all of these cups here that are on the clouds. Sometimes this card means, like, illusion when it's reversed, or delusions, but there is essentially emotional choices. This is upright. So what area of life do you need to really kind of make some decisions in? And I feel like this is also playing in because the planet Saturn is also going to be conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So you have this interplay between, Neptune, which is the planet of dreams and the planet of expansion into the outer realms, with the planet of, time and order, Saturn. So it's a very interesting, it's time to make some decisions in certain areas of your life. Now, let's get some more clarity. We're going to look at your timeline. So you've got the Six of Cups upright. You've got the Fool card upright. And you've got the Star card reversed. Now, the Six of Cups, this is about our emotional past. A lot of times this is talking about things in our emotional life that go back to childhood. They are our memories. They're things, parts of ourselves that we developed in childhood, or we may have lost in childhood. For me, in this reading, what I'm seeing is that one of the emotional choices that you're going to be making is you're going to be tapping into something that you haven't tapped into in a long time within yourself, going back to childhood. It's a thing that maybe, you kind of lost your way, or kind of just it slipped away from you in some part in your life, and you're going to go back to that. It's some piece of yourself that's very important that has to do with these emotional choices. And with the Fool card here, the Fool card is an interesting card. A lot of times people think of it as negative, of being like foolish, right? But that's not what this card is about. The Fool is about being, childlike, exuberant about your life, about new beginnings, about having the courage. Like when we're younger, we have the courage to dream, we have the courage to do, and before we get older and worry about this or that, and so I feel like there's this part of yourself that's coming back into you, that's feeding you, that has to do with these emotional choices, and it's something that is going to put you in a new direction. Like I see this kind of freshness coming up into you on this path. Now, it's not going to be automatic, and that's what this Star card is saying. this is going to come up automatically, but where you take it and how long it takes is dependent on what you do with this, right? What road you take. Does the Fool go down this way, that way? What choices you make? The Star card, even when it's reversed, is very positive in readings. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like, a starry night where you're seeing these beautiful stars, but all of a sudden the cloud cover, covers them up. And you're like, where did they go? They didn't disappear. They're there, but they're just being obscured, right? And so when it's reversed, it's saying that, like, how this goes and how long it takes is going to be up to you and your choices. Now we'll get some more clarity and some clues on those choices with your advice cards. So you've got the Nine of Cups reversed, and you've got the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, we'll start with the Queen of Wands. Wands are referring to passion, vitality, energy, inspiration, all of those things, okay? One of the things that this is saying with this reversed Queen of Wands is that when you make emotional choices in your life, you want to make sure that they inspire you, okay? Whatever choice and road you go down, and it has to do with your childhood, make sure that it is inspirational to you. It's something that inspires you, that you're passionate about. That's part of the decision making process. Don't worry about, because again, why do I say that? Because of your South Node in Virgo. Oh, doubt. I'm not sure if I could do it. How is this going to all play out? Because remember, anybody that's ever, reached any sort of success did not see the end of the road. They had an idea of what they wanted and where they wanted to go, but they also, just took one step at a time. And, earlier in these readings, I believe it was in the, Virgo North Node reading, which is your South Node. It's interesting because there was a very kind of similar vibe in that reading, but I used the example of the author J.K. Rowling, right? And when she was writing the Harry Potter series, she had no idea, like, of how much success would come to her. She was just hoping for it to be like a very good selling children's book. That's all she could hope for. And, she did not understand and see where it was going. She didn't worry about it. And that's what she said. Like, she just did the work. She was inspired. She did the work and didn't worry about, oh, well, what's this person going to think? Oh, what's going to happen 2 years from now? Or what if this doesn't happen? Okay, Virgo, sixth house. She didn't worry about that, because that is an inspiration sucker. It sucks the inspiration and passion out of it. So this is what's important, is you have to make sure you keep your inspiration level high at all times. And part of that is not looking to, how things are going to play out. Now the wish card, this is, again, it's reversed, because it's important that you have dreams. It's important that what's inspiring you is how you dream. Remember, your North Node's in Pisces. It is the sign of dreams. The 12th house is the sign of dreams. It's the sign of inspiration, all of those things. This is what you need to do. You need to dream. You need to dream. And it's also the sign and house of imagination. Okay. Everything in this world starts in the imagination. Okay. Anything that we create, anything from a business, in our artistic project, a musical project, a writing project, it starts with our imagination. Just that's where did Harry Potter come from? It came from inspiration. J.K. Rowling had that, and then she went with it. Okay, so she dreamt it into being, and then had the passion to continue to work on it. She wasn't like worried about, and I if I remember correctly, I don't think that she was. I think she was rejected. The Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by quite a few publishers, if I remember her story correctly, which is a very common story among our authors or anyone else that does things creatively. I mean, there were tons of record companies that didn't sign the Beatles, had an opportunity to sign the Beatles. Okay, so this is, you know, something to where they didn't worry. She didn't worry about, she got maybe a few rejection letters or whatever, but she just kept on because she believed in it. She was passionate in what she was doing. So that is really what's going on right now, is it's the practical application of your imagination in the world, a combination between creating something in the world through your imagination. But it's going to start with choices, and then it's going to go to being inspired by those choices, and then it's going to move into the dreams, the imagination, and then it's this loop. Make it happen and work on it, and you're going to see that this is something that can be extremely, extremely valuable and magical into how your life unfolds. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading based on your astrological chart, or if you just like to show the channel some love, there's going to be some links in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.